Just 3 days to go, and we still don't know who will be under center for the Warriors when Hawaii takes the field against the Florida Gators. Sports director Liz Chun brings us this report from Atlanta, Georgia.
The UH football team is practicing in Atlanta till Thursday, still trying to figure out who will be UH's starting QB against Florida. With Brent Roush's ongoing elbow injury, Coach Greg McMacken has reopened the competition at quarterback. It appears to be a two-man race between Brent Roush and Greg Alexander. Alexander looked to be the front runner on Wednesday, doing most of the drills with the first team. Roush, on the other hand, was throwing the ball without as much pain. There's a total of 4 Warrior QBs who made the trip, including Kahuku grad Inoke Funaki Santos, who mainly work with the scout team for defense. Is it still open for a game time decision?
Yeah, it'll still be a game time decision. Greg got most of the reps today, and Brent threw a few, and so it's a game time decision.
Is that mainly based on Roush's injury?
That's where it started at, and then we're going to go from there, and we're going to play the player that gives us the best chance to win.
Do you think it's hard for the team not knowing exactly who's the guy in that role?
I don't know. We got a couple receivers that are leaders on offense that have been here, and really for the receivers, they're still doing the same thing. Our line's doing the same thing, so I don't think it's too big of an adjustment for these guys.
One good sign for Roush: he did not receive any treatment for his elbow at Wednesday's practice. As for the weather conditions here in Atlanta, it was in the upper 70s. In Florida, it will be in the high 90s. Reporting from Atlanta, Liz Chun, KGMB 9 News.
And don't forget, keep in touch with the Warriors by watching KGMB 9. Liz Chun will document their trip for us. She'll have reports from Atlanta, then on to Gainesville and game day. Liz is going to be on the road all week. For Florida, wide receiver Percy Harvin has not recovered from a heel injury that required off-season surgery, and that is going to keep him out of Saturday's season opener, and that leaves the Gators without their returning leader in receptions, yards, and receiving touchdowns. Finally, on Sunday, KGMB gave you a peek at the season to be, from coaches to players, with the Warrior Football Humble and Hungry special. If you missed it, just tune in tonight, or tune in Friday night, actually. It will be on at 7 p.m.
All right. Warrior football team began practice in Atlanta, Georgia today with junior college transfer Greg Alexander taking majority of the snaps at quarterback, marking the second straight practice as sophomore Brent Roush has taken just 1 snap to every 3, given the number 12. Now, Roush missed 2 days of practice last week with a strain in his forearm, and head coach Greg McMacken says that it will be a game-time decision as far as who will lead the Warriors against Florida in the Swamp. How's it going, everybody? There's no question who will be the wingman for the 5th-ranked Gators come Saturday, as Florida will be led behind reigning Heisman Trophy winner Tim Tebow. Number 15 is the only player ever to win the prestigious Heisman as a sophomore, following a fantastic 2007 season where he became the first player in NCAA history to both pass and rush for 20-plus touchdowns in a single season. But it's more than just Tebow that the Warrior defense has to be ready for.
What else do they bring to the table?
About 6 guys that run somewhere in the 4-3s, 4-2s. No, they got great athletes, playmakers. Definitely, he's not the only one they have. They do a great job of getting the ball in the hands of the athletes, and they make plays. The offensive line is one of the best we're going to face all year, and probably one of the best I've faced in my career here. And so we're excited for the challenge.
Bringing a lot of folks. Floats it up for Caldwell. He's got it.
How you defend speed?
You hit them hard.
That's the attitude you got to have. Warriors are currently 35-point underdogs, according to one Las Vegas book. UH are winners in 22 of their last 24 games. Kickoff set for Saturday at 6:30 in the morning, Hawaii time.
Still a game-time decision, according to UH football coach Greg McMacken, as to who will start at quarterback for Saturday's opener at Florida. Although, for the second straight day, junior Greg Alexander received the majority of the snaps during a 2-hour practice held today at Georgia Tech in Atlanta. Sophomore Brent Roush was named the #1 QB a couple weeks back, but has been hampered by a sore throwing arm. Hawaii will practice again tomorrow in Atlanta before heading to Gainesville to take on the 5th-ranked Gators Saturday. How you doing, everybody? Let's talk sports. No game-time decision necessary to decide on a starting QB, though. For Florida, that's for sure. They have the reigning Heisman Trophy winner under center in Tim Tebow. Tebow is his own multifaceted attack, throwing for 32 touchdowns last season. 3,200 would have been a record, definitely, while running for 23 more. Yet, while game planning defensively for the Gators, it starts with number 15 in blue, but it certainly doesn't end there.
They got great athletes, playmakers. Definitely, he's not the only one they have. They do a great job of getting the ball in the hands of the athletes, and they make plays. The offensive line is one of the best we're going to face all year, and probably one of the best I've faced in my career here. And so we're excited for the challenge.
We got a lot of different guys that can carry the ball. I mean, we got 5 running backs that are very capable of being great running backs. So what we're going to try to do is just, spread the load out to a lot of guys. And we got a lot of athletes. We're just going to try to, put them in there and use their strengths to help us and really try to take advantage of the depth that we got at those positions.
They pride themselves on being the fastest team in the country, and I'm sure that they're real close to being that. I think they are one of the top 5 teams. I think they may be ranked a little low at 5.
Scary thing is, Tebow, who's still just a junior, says he's worked hard this past off season to improve, perhaps not physically as much as mentally.
The number one thing for me has been decision making, on and off the field, how you treat your teammates, how you interact with them, checking it down, throwing it away, maybe not having to try to run someone over, maybe getting down, or maybe getting out of bounds. And so those all tie into making great decisions. I mean, that's what separates an average quarterback from a good quarterback, good to great.
Warriors and Gators kick off at the Swamp Saturday morning at 6:30 Hawaii time.